Welcome back, everyone. And on the main stage now, we've got the team from Accenture Technology. So I know we're running ever so slightly over. So without further ado, I will introduce Jada and Reena. Over to you.
Thank you, Ali. Hi, everyone. My name is Jada. I'm a recruiting specialist at Accenture's early talent team in London. And I primarily look after our technology internships and any sort of shorter schemes that we offer here for penultimate year students. And I'm also joined by Reena. Reena is actually one of our ex-interns. She completed her internship with us a few years ago, and she's now returned back as a graduate, as most of our interns do. And she's here to support me, and we'll be sharing her story later on. Reena, do you want to say hi?
Hi guys, yeah, so like Jada mentioned, I've just recently returned back to Accenture as a graduate and did my placement back in 2018 now. So yeah, I'll be sharing all my tips and tricks later on.
Thank you. So before we go straight into the programs that we offer, we just wanted to give you an introduction to who Accenture is. Hopefully you've heard of Accenture. We do quite a lot in the student market, but in case you haven't, Accenture is a leading global professional services company providing a broad range of services in strategy and consulting, interactive, technology and operations with digital capabilities across all of these services. So we combine unmatched experience and specialized capabilities across more than 40 industries, powered by the world's largest network of advanced technology and intelligent operation centers. With 624,000 people serving clients in more than 120 countries, Accenture brings continuous innovation to help clients improve their performance and create lasting value across their enterprises. So this is our new growth model. I really wanted to just bring up the different areas of Accenture, just to highlight all the stuff that's going on within the company, and also just highlight the fact that we are the only company with the ability to combine and integrate all of these capabilities at scale in an industry context. So again, today's focus will be the technology side. However, I mean, Reena would agree later that when you are on client projects, you don't only just work with people that are from the same area of the business as you. So we will bring in, like, the teams that we build will have people from across the business in all the different areas. They can come and bring their expertise to the table and work with that client to give the best solution possible. So I won't go into too much detail about the technology now, but I'm going to come back to that in just shortly. So what makes Accenture different, or what makes us special? So there's a number of things that I will quickly go through. So firstly, we build trust-based enduring relationships with many of the world's leading companies and major governments. We work with clients on their most complex mission-critical issues, enabling their digital transformation. Our industry leadership is best in class, so we are known for the depth of our industry insight and solutions and for our business services. We have deep industry expertise, again, across more than 40 industries. Also, Accenture is the world's largest independent technology service provider, and we have a very privileged position in the technology ecosystem. Again, we have a broad global footprint, so we serve over 6,000 clients in more than 120 countries around the world. Our global delivery capability is unmatched in the marketplace, providing clients with high-quality, industry-specific solutions at lower costs and with quicker results. And lastly, we have the best people in our industry, functionally specialized in industries and technological skills, with a powerful culture of innovation, collaboration, and teaming. We are deeply committed to the ongoing learning and professional development of all Accenture people, and within 1 year, we had invested over $850 million into training our people. So again, once you start looking into Accenture, that will be something that you hear a lot. It's all about developing our people, making sure that they're up to date. Technology is constantly changing, and there's so much to be constantly learning. But of course, it's not just our people. Our platform and ecosystem partners also play quite a pivotal role in accelerating our clients' path to value. So at Accenture, we understand the power of platform technologies and have done so for a long time. And we increase our own capabilities and broadening the number of platforms which we partner with. As the world's largest independent technology services provider, we are agnostic about technology and have very clear viewpoints about what is most appropriate for a client's particular challenge. We are the leading partner of many key players and are a leading system integration partner for SAP, Microsoft, Oracle, Salesforce, and Workday, as well as emerging technology partners. And through our Avanade joint venture, we deliver more Microsoft technology than any other company in the world. So together with our alliance partners, we drive continuous innovation across our business, from shaping new digital strategies to enabling liquid and agile ways of working, to running and automating digital processes. And I'm sure below you'll recognize a few of those logos of the people that we partner with, and this is just a few. Cool, so moving on to Accenture Technology. So Accenture Technology is the global leader in the most vital technologies today. So the technologies that are underpinning the world's accelerated digital transformation and are critical to growing and rebuilding our global economy. And this includes AI, intelligent automation, cloud, security, data, and analytics. So combined with our leadership in software engineering, application management, infrastructure, and on the most pervasive intelligent platforms such as SAP and Oracle, and we have a massive research and innovation engine of labs and investments, the largest innovation delivery operation in the world, and our unparalleled expertise in, again, more than 40 industries, which range from healthcare to finance to consumer goods. So Accenture is at the heart of thousands of businesses, driving immediate response and longer-term transformation that will define the future. So the people of Accenture Technology have the power to pretty much change the way the world lives and works, and also shape the future of every day. The work they do is real, it's relevant, it's never static, and it challenges and it inspires you as well. And therefore, we're trying to grow our Accenture Technology team to include even more sort of diverse people to keep growing and helping our clients achieve the best. Cool, so that's it for the introduction. Now I'll move on to the technology industrial placement schemes. So I'm hoping there's a few of you out there who are in your penultimate year, so that would either be the second year of your 3-year degree or the third year of your 4-year integrated degree. And just to make it clear, these programs are only open for undergraduate degrees. So if you are in your final year, if you've already graduated and you look for graduate opportunities, please do listen on, as it will be somewhat relevant, and we do have the graduate program versions of these industrial placement schemes. However, I will be speaking more directly to that undergraduate penultimate year students. Cool, so our scheme, so what do we offer? So first of all, our schemes are based in London. They are for 12 months, so it is for your industrial placement year. So you'll be looking to take a year out before you return back for your final year and graduate. And there's 3 different streams that you can pick from. So the first stream is software engineering, which falls under delivery. And these professionals use their technical expertise to design, build, and deliver complex technology programs. From what it sounds, it is quite a technical role. And to apply for this, you should have a STEM degree and also have knowledge of coding. So if that applies to you, then maybe software engineering is the area that you might be interested in. A new area that we've got this year is the technology architecture. So we'd actually not been doing this for the last few years, so it's super exciting that it's back. But these professionals architect the technical and functional solutions for our clients. So very much bringing those ideas to life. For this program, you should ideally be studying a STEM degree or a business degree. However, of course, there is some flexibility. So if it does interest you, then do still apply for it. And then lastly, we have the client delivery program. And these professionals, they analyze, design, and or develop best practice business changes through technology solutions. So this is where technology meets business. This program is one of the most popular ones, just because you don't require STEM degree or any tech background. As long as you're passionate and you're interested in technology and would like to come into this sector, then this is a great program that will be that ladder from where you are to where you want to be. Just in terms of the programs, so obviously there are these different areas. We've opened applications for all three, so you can apply for them now. However, I do just want to flag that when you join, you pretty much join at the same level as graduates, and the only difference is that you are on a 12-month contract. At the end of those 12 months, if your performance is been good across the different projects you've done, then there is a chance that you will be offered a graduate role to return back to. And I'm very pleased that around 90% of our interns do get an offer to come back for a graduate role. So I can just imagine how nice it must be to go back to your final year of university, knowing that you've already got an offer in your back pocket, and you can just focus on your studies. And once you're done, your job is ready waiting for you. But I'm not going to speak much more about it. What I'll do is I'll pass it over to Reena to sort of, again, to reintroduce herself and to tell us a bit more about her experience that she's had with Accenture in the past, and also her current experience now that she's returned as a graduate.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Jada. So just to introduce myself again, so I'm Reena. I recently joined Accenture back as a grad in March, but I did complete a placement year here as a client delivery associate. So at university, I actually studied economics. So I come from a completely non-technology background, which is why, you know, Accenture was the clear choice for me, because they did offer so many training opportunities within technology, because I was so keen to learn more about this area. You know, it's one of the most trending topics at the moment, and quite relevant to the time where we're at. So on my placement year, I was actually part of a large-scale change transformation program, and that was within the financial services sector. And I worked as a networks program manager. So my client was actually based in Edinburgh, so I was actually lucky enough to travel up to the client site at least once a month, which was definitely one of my highlights from my placement year. So within that program, I was working on multiple projects, and I was lucky enough to have that exposure to senior clients from the very beginning. So I would say that at Accenture, you're definitely most trusted and treated as an analyst, even as an intern, from day one. And I think Jada mentioned that earlier. There's no really difference in treatment between graduates and interns, which is definitely a plus. So like I said, I did enjoy my project so much that I ended up staying on that one for the whole year. Whereas I know that some of my other colleagues in the placement scheme, they did use that year to hop around, try different industries, and try different projects. And I would say, looking back at that, I would definitely recommend doing that. Especially if you want to return back as a grad, because it will give you that clarity on which area you want to specialize in. Because again, like Jada mentioned earlier, so many different areas in technology, there's so many different industries you can get involved in. So yeah, that's a quick recap of my placement year. And I was actually lucky enough to be offered a grad job at the end of it. So I did go into my final year slightly a bit more able to breathe, focus more on my degree. And then I actually came back to Accenture in March. and now I'm working in the entertainment industry, working on a really cool client project, launching a streaming service. So I'm currently working as a program manager on that. So yeah, it's been good. But Jada, did you have any questions that you wanted me to answer?
Yeah, Reena, how do you feel like now that you've done an internship and you've come back to the program, how do you think, like, how does that give you an advantage almost, or does it give you an advantage over other graduates just starting from scratch?
Yeah, I think it most definitely helps, because I think Accenture is such a big company. It takes a while to find your feet within the first couple of months. And because of my placement year, I was already connected to so many people, which actually helped me land my first project as a graduate. So I was able just to use my network to help me get the project I want. Because I think usually what happens is that you're aligned to your first project based on your skill set, and then after that you'll go through an internal application process for other projects that you want to join. So yeah, I think it most definitely helped grow my network, and also find my feet within Accenture, which does take a while. And I was lucky enough to have that experience as well. And I think also on the actual project side of things, it does help, because you learn how to work with different people. So I work with quite a lot of system integrators at the moment, so heavily technology focused. So I've learned so much from them on my placement year. So I'm able to understand all the terms that they use, and just sort of make that more digestible for the client.
Cool, thank you, Reena. So as you guys heard, everyone's experience is so unique once they join. Like Reena mentioned, she ended up staying on one project for the entire year because she was enjoying it so much. Whereas we have some interns who might dib and dab out of 5 different projects just because they want to get experience in all the different areas. So when we get the question of like, what's it like, or what's my 12 months exactly going to be like, it's such a hard question to answer, because it's literally your fate is in your own hands. You go off, you do your networking, you find out about everything that's available, and then you can kind of just, I guess, pick and choose your own path and decide how your next 12 months is going to go and what skills you're going to build before you sort of come to that stage where you're looking for a graduate job. So thanks so much, Reena, for joining me today. So I've just got one more slide left before we wrap up for questions. So again, roles are now live. They opened on Monday. For the industrial placement schemes, the deadline is end of November, so there's not a lot of time to go. So if you are interested, please do try and start your application as soon as possible. And that will be the step 1, so your digital application. It's on a platform called Head Start, which when you click on the application link, it will take you there. And ultimately, Head Start is like your digital CV. So if you just have your CV up on the side, you can copy and paste all the information from your CV onto your Head Start profile and submit that. Again, please note, we don't ask you for your CV, so don't assume that we're going to know about stuff if you don't put it across to Head Start profile. And once we receive your Head Start application, if successful, you'll be moved on to the online assessment stage, which is a discovery portal. Our discovery portal is like an interactive hub where you'll be faced with several challenges and tests. And there'll be like loads of different tiles and you can work through them. It's very immersive, very insightful. It follows like a fictional client case. So whilst we're getting to know you and how you would respond to typical day-to-day exercises such as conference calls and emails, you're also having the opportunity to see what it's like to work in Accenture or technology or consulting, because you get to actually experience that, and we find that's a really good way for people to decide whether this is right for them or not. And don't know if it's just I'm a recruiter, but the usual feedback that I receive is that it's super fun. Everyone really enjoys it, and they really like that as just an experience by itself. So hopefully, if you do get to that stage, you will also enjoy it. If you pass the online assessment, the next stage is an assessment centre. So for the assessment centre, they're all taking place virtually right now, and they will be for the next probably academic year. So if you're applying for this year, you're probably going to have a virtual AC. It's about half a day. There's loads of different activities. You get to meet a lot of different assessors and recruiters throughout the half day that you have. And if you're applying for client delivery, which is a more general program, then you can get an offer straight off the back of the assessment centre. However, if you've applied for software engineering or for technology architecture, which is obviously a bit more of a specialised program, then you will have a technical interview stage where you meet someone from the business who will sort of just have a chat with you. They're not going to call it an interview, it's not such high pressure, but they just want to understand sort of what your current capabilities are, and more importantly, what your potential is for the future. And cool. I think we can wrap it up there. Ali, if we have any questions.
Yeah, we do. And thank you very much for the overview and the insight, both of you. Yes, we've had a good number of questions coming through. And I'm conscious we've got 4 minutes or so I'll try and get through as many as I can. But I'd also advise going to the employer booths afterwards as well if I don't get to cover any. So just looking at some of the questions come through, the one that's been most up-liked. So Accenture, obviously a huge company, and Reena, you mentioned I think you went to Edinburgh every now and again. So do you get to travel as part of your programs?
I think it depends on the project you're on and where your client is based. So I guess some of the other placement students, their client was based in different cities. So Manchester, so they would get to stay in hotels for 4 days a week, all expenses paid. So yeah, I guess that there is that opportunity to travel, but it depends on where your client is based, whether you can work from the Accenture office or work from home. I think it all depends, and I know that times have changed now due to COVID. So at the moment, I'm primarily working from home. I've been going into the client office once a week, but I think it's on a project-to-project basis.
Great. And I think you mentioned with the you almost have to apply for a project. You get to know this sort of information when you make the application.
So with placement, I think with placement students, you don't really apply to the project when you first join. I think you're assigned your first project, and then if you do want to move around, try new things, then we have an internal portal where you can see all the different roles available and you can filter out which industry you're looking at, what kind of role. So yeah, there's an internal portal, and it's nothing too formal. You'll just end up having a chat with one of the managers on that project to see if you're a good fit for the role. But it's more of a friendly chat rather than an interview.
Great, thanks for clarifying. Yeah, it sounds really exciting. It sounds like you get a lot of different opportunities within your placement to test yourself in different areas. Sounds great. So you kind of touched on it, but it's a related question here. So are you back in the office full time? It doesn't sound like you are, but yeah. So what's the working situation now?
So I know that TAG graduates at the moment, we've been lucky enough to have a space in the office on Fridays. So we have the opportunity to obviously come in, see all the other graduates. So we are lucky enough to have Fridays as a dedicated day. But I know the offices have opened back up in more general, but I think Jada would be able to help answer that one.
Thank you, Reena. So yeah, like Reena mentioned, we are slowly going back to the office. but we are taking it step by step. So at the moment, we are working on an allocated space on certain days basis. But I think, you know, the advice I'm giving the current interns, so they just started in August, majority of them are working from home at the moment. The only ones that are working from the office is if the client that they're with is requesting for them to go into the client offices. But apart from that, they are working from home. But we are expecting things to change slowly. So hopefully by next summer, which will be when you're joining, things should be more back to normal. But yeah, majority of us are still at home at the moment.
Great. I'm very conscious of time. And so many questions coming in. One from Lucy, so thank you. Aniban, I'm afraid we're not going to have time to answer all of these just yet. So as I mentioned, please enjoy. Please head over to the employee booths after this. I guess, Jada, just a final reminder, because someone says, sounds like they're really excited. How do we join? What's the next? Remind everyone of what the next steps are if people want to join Accenture.
So please come to our booth and I will give you the links to apply for the different programs. We can have a little chat around which program is better suited for you. And once you start your Head Start application, the rest will come from there.
Lovely stuff. Right, that's a great wrap up. Head over to the booth. But I'd just like to say thank you to you both. Very interesting, very insightful. We aren't going to be back on this main stage in half an hour's time, so at 12:15 with a talk from KPMG, which means there's half an hour of booth time. So please ask lots of questions, get fully immersed, and hopefully it will scrape your future career. But thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you. See you at the booth, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.